Is your life like that movie Groundhog Day where you feel like you're just doing the exact same thing day in and day out for weeks, months, and years on end where nothing has changed and you feel like you're just in like this rut that you can't even seem to get out of? Today, I'm going to share with you the exact action steps that I took in order to get my life out of this rut, find my power and confidence, and start living the life that I actually wanted to live. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Angie. Please subscribe to my channel as well as click the bell notifications button to be notified every single time that I upload a new video. I would really appreciate it. I have this huge goal that I'm working towards, and your subscribership would mean so much to me. So today we're talking all about the midlife crisis of women. When you're going through these things, it can be really hard to kind of clarify steps. Sometimes we get all mixed up with everything else that's going on in our lives, and it's hard to like focus in on us because, you know, as women, we're kind of givers. We kind of give ourselves to everybody and we don't leave a lot to ourselves. So today I really wanted to share with you 5 action steps that I use to help me get out of my rut, find my power and my strength inside of me, and really point myself in the direction of life that I wanted to go in. Action step number 1 is actually taking stock. And by that, I mean like taking stock of what it is that you've already done in your life. So up until now, start taking stock of the achievements that you've done, just so that you can kind of have a baseline for where you are, what your starting point is right now and today. Part of that actual taking stock of things is a lot of times is that when we go into our 40s or midlife, is that we think that we're too old to start something. I don't know, maybe it's that we don't have that self-confidence anymore. We don't have that bravery or that power that we once had. You know, when you're 20s, when you're like fearless, and we don't seem to have that anymore. We're scared now because we've had these things happen in our lives. People that we are very close to have passed away suddenly, or we've had tragedies in our life, or maybe we've had a divorce that we never expected to have. I've had one of those. Never expected one of them. But by taking stock of what it is that we've accomplished and what we haven't accomplished yet really just gives us a baseline as to where we are right now and where it is that we want to be. Action step number 2 is to actually start connecting with your partner and your family or close friends. Discuss what it is that you're going through, what it is that you're feeling, and these emotions that you're having can really help you go through this process of change and feeling like you don't know your way, you haven't found yourself yet, and they can kind of help to direct you towards what it is that you really, really want. Because I mean, they love you and they care about you. So trying to connect with the people that are actually closest to you, or if you don't have that support system where you don't have somebody who's kind of closer to you, go get a therapist. And whenever you go into for therapy, if it doesn't work out for the first time, go try and find another one. You have to find somebody who's going to connect to you and who's going to understand you. And when you start working with this person, it's really going to start breaking up those blockages. I've gone to a therapist before after I having divorced. My daughter's 15 years old, and she asked me a couple weeks ago if she could go see a therapist. She was dealing with some issues, and she was so incredibly scared of what it was that my response was going to be. And I was so incredibly proud of her for actually sharing that she needed help and she wanted to talk to somebody, but she didn't want to talk to her mom, which was okay. I understood that she wanted to talk to somebody else. So go see somebody who can help you. It doesn't matter if it's a close family or friend. If it has to be somebody of an outside source, just go and do it. I promise it will help you. Action step number 3, and this is a biggie, and it might be a big ask, but the truth is that I want you to disconnect. Yeah. I want you to disconnect from your cell phone. I want you to disconnect from social media, from news, all of it. We are so incredibly guilty of, as soon as that alarm goes off in the morning, we have our face into a screen and we let that screen actually decide how we are going to feel that day. This journal was like the start of me getting out of my rut. It's called the 5-Second Journal, and it's by a lady called Robbins. I have linked a playlist to what I did to get out of my rut in my notes. I bought it off of Amazon. I'll leave the link for that in the description below as well. Anyways, I started writing in it, and it just kind of opened myself up to how it was that I was feeling. Because when we give ourselves an opportunity to disconnect from everything that's going on out into the world, what happens is that we actually start to connect with that tiny little voice that's inside of our head that's telling us our path and our journey. It's our inner compass, and it's a very tiny, quiet little voice. But as you disconnect and do it more than once, over time, that little voice becomes stronger. That compass becomes more direct to tell you the path that you want to go on, to give you direction. So if we can eliminate that outside source of the distraction of media, then we can start to listen to the voice, have our compass, and drive to our path of where it is that we actually want to go, instead of living our lives through what we're seeing on our phones and what other people are doing on their highlight reel. Let's get real intentional here. If we really want to change, we need to disconnect from our phones. Action step number 4. This one here is super, super fun, and it's something that I've really enjoyed doing, even though it was absolutely terrifying to me, and that is let's experiment. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of times whenever we get into our 40s and we're going through this stage of, well, I don't know what to do with my path. I don't know what I like anymore. I'm so confused. I don't know who I am anymore. Let's experiment. Like literally, let's take a piece of paper and write down all of the things that we wanted to do, whether it was that we wanted to do them when we were 20 or 30, or that we want to do them when we retire. Let's put that list together. Find out what it is that you want to do, kind of things that excite you, things that scare you. Like, I want to do a CrossFit, but I'm pretty sure that I feel like I'm going to die if I do CrossFit. And it's a huge fear of mine, but it's something that I need to accomplish. So I'm going to push myself to do it. I have a couple of girlfriends. I'm hoping that they'll go with me. And if they won't, that's fine. I'm going to do it on my own because I want to do it. I want to push myself, and I want you to push yourself where you feel uncomfortable, but that sense of accomplishment and confidence and power and energy and strength that you are going to gain from putting yourself out there, accomplishing something that you never thought you could do, is going to be amazing. Action step number 5 is let's design your path. Let's start daydreaming. When you have this awakening inside of you and this inner compass that's telling you that I want to go in this direction, you need to start daydreaming about the things that you can do. Let's start creating ourselves instead of trying to find ourselves, because it's not like we're just going to go and knock on the door and open it up and all of a sudden there's our new self and we're going to walk in and everything's going to be perfect. Like, I mean, that's not life. We know that's not life. But if we start taking intentions and creating the person that we want to be, then we will become that person. What is it that if money was absolutely no barrier and time was no barrier and age was no barrier, what is it that you would do with your life today? I think that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to come up for you that you kind of swept under the rug and said, oh yeah, that's not really life. That's not going to happen anymore. So I dare you to daydream. I want you to tell me in the comments below, what is something that you wish that you could do, but you feel like you can't do it anymore? What is that thing that holds you back? So there you have it, friends. These were the action steps that I used in order to get me out of a rut of life and feeling like everything was just mundane. I was on the hamster wheel and nothing was new or changing, and has started to get me to the point where I'm creating the person that I want to be and living the life that I want to live with intention and fullness. If you would like to have more information, you can check out my social handles. I'll leave them down here, and you can check out this video right here where I actually did a menopause talk with my mom. And you know how you do the period talk whenever you're like really young, so I decided to do the menopause talk with my mom as well. It's a super fun video, so please check that out. I upload new videos every Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Bye.